Hello, welcome back to Profits Unlimited podcast channel. Coming to you live today from our Turfs Up Radio studio in Louisville, Kentucky. Got something really fun to talk about today. It's called Pick a Lane. And you hear a lot of that nowadays, but let me tell you guys something. I've been talking about picking a lane for over 30 years because, that was one of the big mistakes that I made when I got into business. And probably not just right for the first few months or 1 year or 2 years. I was in business, honest to God, 9 years before I decided the most important thing I needed to do was pick a lane for my company to run in. And if you can visualize, somebody on a racetrack, a guy on a racetrack getting ready to run a race, right? And how, that track is all lined out. What I caught myself doing was some days I was in the inside lane, some days I was in the outside lane, some days I was in the middle lane, but I was running around like this with my arms wide open. Every day I got up and jumped on that racetrack with my arms wide open like this, trying to be everything and scoop everybody in, from the little old lady on Social Security, and I say that with all due respect, to the large corporations of the world. I was just trying to be everything to everybody rather than something to somebody. And I just want you to think about it. Visualize that racetrack. Running our businesses is a whole lot like running a race every day. But we can't run that race in all different lanes. We got to figure out what lane it is we want to get in and stay in that lane. And that's what I'm going to talk to you about just a couple minutes today. But it's very, very important that you understand you can't get on that racetrack every day and get in a different lane and try to be everything to everybody, because then we're trying to be too much. You got to figure out first who you are. And that was taking my own business experience. That's what I hadn't defined, honestly. And that's my challenge to you, is to ask yourself, have you defined you and your business and who it is that you want to service? Not just today, but long term. Who is it you really want to service? Because the sooner you pick that lane and you decide who you are and who you want to service, the more defined your business goals will be. And you will start targeting those particular customers that will help you meet those goals. So instead of running around like this, trying to scoop everybody in, you've got a narrow focus, right? Instead of a shotgun approach of too many people, boom, you want to be everything to everybody. Let's take a targeted approach, pick a lane, run that lane, do your marketing in that lane, build your business in that lane, and your company will be more successful and more profitable for it. Because we can't be happy to just be in the race, right? I was happy to be in the race. I didn't realize that I needed to pick a lane. I had two phrases that were running my business. They won't do it and they won't pay it. How many times have you been sitting down putting a proposal together and that crosses your mind? Man, that's a lot of money. You start scratching your head like this, and I'm a firm believer that that's why we're all thin right here on the side of our heads, because we're always going, oh my God, that's a lot of money. Maybe it is a lot of money. Maybe it's a lot of money to the little old lady on Social Security, but it's not a lot of money to the right target group of people. So don't let that mindset run your business of they won't do it, they won't pay it. What I want you to know is this. It's very simple. Don't be happy just to be in the game or be in the race. Pick a lane. Go after that clientele that's going to help your company be more successful, more profitable. Because when it boils down to it, you've got to position yourself within this race, within your business, right? To be successful and to be profitable. There's two ways of looking at it. You can be happy to be in the race like we were for 9 years and not making any money. Doing a lot of cash flow, but we were broke. Okay? Or we can pick a lane and redefine ourselves so we can go after the clientele we need to know we got to go after to be more profitable. And that's what I call the Vince Lombardi way. The mindset of winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. But what you got to convince yourself of first is that you can't be everything to everybody. We got to narrow that focus in. And once we narrow that focus in, we can be more successful and more profitable. Your fear of change is your main competitor. And it doesn't matter if you're in Louisville, Kentucky, or Augusta, Maine, Detroit, Michigan, Boise, Idaho, Dallas, Texas. Your fear of change is your main competitor. Know that you got to pick a lane for your company to truly be successful. And once you do that, good things will start to happen within your company. You'll make more money with less customers, and all of a sudden you'll begin to enjoy the race a lot more. Remember, profit's not a dirty word. See you next time.